Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd talk more about my process of applying to Penn since the ED deadline is coming up soon. I'm gonna share my Penn supplement essay and some tips that I think people would find useful when writing their supplement essay for any school, not just Penn. A little background about myself: I actually graduated Penn recently. I did a dual degree between Wharton and the design school, so I did 2 bachelor's degree, and currently I'm working as a consultant in New York City. This year I'm also participating in the Penn interview program, so I'm actually going to be interviewing some of the ED applicants as well as regular decision applicants. I think it'd be helpful for here to share what I look for in a potential candidate when they are applying to an Ivy League school, what I look for in students, and how I write their evaluation. One of the most important parts, I think, of the application is the why essay for the school, which is like the supplement essay. Usually every school has that. I find it to be one of the more important essays because your personal statement is kind of catered towards all schools, so the schools know you're writing one essay for all of them. It's not very targeted at the school that you want to stand out in front of, but the why essay really gives you space to show the school why specifically you want to go to this school, and it's also a place to show your knowledge about the school or your passion about the school. I think a lot of schools take shown interest into account when they evaluate applications, so if they know that you, for example, went on tours before at the school, or you have like very deep knowledge in specific majors, like what major you want to do or other things like that, they'll think you have a lot of interest in the school and potentially might increase your chance of being accepted. So some of my tips for writing the why essay, I think there's like a 3-step formula that I always go with. First of all, what about the school attracts you? For example, you can talk about Penn's culture, Penn's environment, or like overall location, if that's something you like about the school. So first of all, what do you like about the school? Second of all, if there is a major you're specifically applying for, what attracts you to that major, and maybe talk about specific classes that the school offers, or why specifically you think this major stands out among all the schools you're applying to. And third, which is most important, is to tie it back to your own experience. I can go off and write about why I love Columbia's business program, why I love Penn's art program, why I love Harvard's environments program, but the most important part is tying it back to yourself. It's like, why do you fit into this community, and why does the school, this program, why should they accept you and not someone else? So following those 3 steps, you have to show interest in school, interest in the program or whatever you're applying for, and most importantly, tie it back to your own experience. Those are the 3 main points I would suggest. So here is my supplement essay for why Penn from when I applied a couple years ago, but I think it's still pretty relevant. I'm gonna read it here. For my year, the prompt was basically why Penn? Why do you want to apply to UPenn? And here is my essay. As the photographer took a portrait photo of me for my published collection, 2 sparkles of light flashed. One was from the digital camera in front of me, and the other was from deep inside. A sparkle that brought me back to childhood, reminding me of the very first moment I discovered the magic of art. After the divorce of my parents when I was 3, my dad raised me alone. You could imagine what a daunting task it was for a Tsinghua-trained engineer to remember all the Disney princesses' names and do bedtime stories each night. Soon we discovered coloring games was way much easier to entertain. The spectrum of colors became my haven from stress and divergence. More than an entertainment, I love art because it provides a sense of tranquility that gratifies me. So I started off with an anecdote of how I here as like a more or less accomplished artist who has published artworks in some books and stuff relates back to how it first started, my first experience with art, and it also ties into my own background, how my dad raised me and why I first started doing art. So continuing, art served as one of my closest companions. With over 1 decade's persistence, art has become an indispensable portion of my life. Creating a legendary masterpiece may sound thrilling, but more than that, it's the process of developing art that appeals to me. the numerous ideas that sparkle during brainstorming, the texture and rhythm created by strokes of paint on elsewise plain canvases, and the exhilarating sense of self-satisfaction that arises after completion all profoundly fascinate me. As my published collection gained approval from expertise, I began bringing them to weekly orphanage visits where I've witnessed the power of art and how it can inspire individuals. Throughout my 13 years of practice, I gradually grew attached to the spiritual gains from art. Growing up in a family of engineers, I was trained into a superachiever in math and physics. My grandparents hold pride in my first place trophy from Shanghai Science and Technology Competition, an AMC Top 1% distinction certificate. Though art is not valued as much as science and engineering in the traditional Eastern culture, I managed to prove how art is intermingled with various fields and worth being devoted to. Through consistent volunteer teaching at orphanages and underdeveloped areas, I've learned the importance of spreading knowledge to every corner of our society. I've witnessed the power of art and how it inspires individuals by giving them hope. Art's ability to showcase the beauty of science with direct visual impact indeed complements the spread of scientific knowledge. This is why I was immediately intrigued by the vast amount of opportunities for research and community service available at UPenn, which would offer me the chance to continue contributing my passion and aptitude in art into the spread of knowledge and improvement of our community. The academically based community service courses would allow me to transform my knowledge into solutions for critical community issues, involving the infusion of ideas and talents. The Arthur Ross Gallery and Morris Arboretum would give me space to understand the history of artworks and the connection between art and other subjects. So in this huge paragraph, I kind of talked about my background. Even though I'm very interested in the art programs, I actually in high school did a lot of STEM courses, so my curriculum was very math and physics based, and my family also is very STEM heavy. So I talked about how even though I do have like background in STEM and things, it complements art a lot. And I also tied in my experiences volunteering at orphanages and other community service programs and how I think those will all tie together. Most importantly, I mentioned the specific programs offered at Penn that would give me a platform to continue these efforts and explore beyond maybe the Shanghai community and bring my talents in art and knowledge in science to a higher, more elevated platform and allow me to go help other communities around Penn and around the nation. So the last part, until this day, flashbacks of my dad and I scribbling on color books 13 years ago still reminds me of the curiosity and determination towards art I've possessed since childhood. As a leading university in research and academics, UPenn offers undergraduate studies that enables me to fulfill my commitment in art and develop it into means that will improve society. The variety of majors at the School of Arts and Sciences, ranging from history of art, physics, to Asian American studies, would give me plenty of opportunities to explore and uncover my true quest. I'm ready to become an active member of University of Pennsylvania's prestigious, diverse, and inclusive community and create an impact on the world around us. And that was it. So the last part, I kind of tied in the potential majors that I want to major in at Penn. So at that time, I was deciding between design, art related things, as well as like physics, since I talked about my background in both STEM and art. So I mentioned those specific majors in my essay. And I guess the last part is just like tying everything together, saying why Penn has these programs that would allow me to continue my endeavors in these fields. Looking back at this essay a couple years later now, I definitely see points where I could have improved in this essay, such as it would be very beneficial if I mentioned specific course names and specific professors or specific clubs, organizations. I mentioned a couple of clubs and programs that Penn offered, but I think if I went more in depth, it would show the admissions officer that did my research or I had like a true passion, a goal that I was going for. Nevertheless, this was the supplement essay that got me into Penn. I hope this was helpful for people who are applying. I know the deadline's coming up really soon, so Good luck to everyone who's submitting their applications, either ED or RD to Penn, and definitely let me know if sharing my main personal statement would help or any other tips about applying to college or UPenn in specific, since I am interviewing this cycle. That's it. See you guys next time.